Good morning! Welcome to How to Grow a Garden. Well, I've certainly got my work cut out for me with this one. I know it doesn't look that complicated, but it kind of is. It's the edge of the forest. It's full of brambles. There's a lot of brambles that are actually growing along this edge. The driveway theoretically comes all the way up there. You can see my husband's car. Mine's back there, but his car is here. Now, this is because of winter. We've been parking the cars closer to the house so you don't have to walk so far. It's also a pretty good slope, you know, when it's slippery and you don't want to fall. But long term, the car will not be parked here anymore, my sweetie pie. Please park it down where it should be, way down in the garage, and then walk 60 meters. It's not that far. Yeah, so the car's going. And also the driveway, kind of like the stones kind of come halfway up the driveway there, but then from that point on, I want to grass it. I bought a whole bunch of meadow seeds and pasture seeds. I've been keeping my eyes out for that. And this space back here, if I swing around, I'll do it slowly so I don't make you guys seasick. Yeah, we started buying our wood. I know there's a lot of wood, and I'm sure you think that's kind of crazy, but we did. It was a ton of work. We both have other things to do, so cutting wood all winter long was not. We did do a little. I mean, we did a lot of it to clean it up, but it wasn't like. Anyway, we just wanted to buy it and be done with it. So there's wood there, and there's a huge pile of wood here. We've also have some plywood. I think it's called plywood USB. Plywood, presswood, whatever it's called, for flooring, because anyway, that's for the cottage coming and going. I got some goats walking around. So this pasture, there's a little bit of a yard here, and I'm going to seed it. It looks really big. It actually is quite big. It's bigger than a typical city backyard. So I'm going to seed it as a meadow for the bees. The bees will be, did I show you that? The bees will be down in the bee house in the walled garden. So back at where the old house is. But today I'm working on the edge of the forest, so here. The picnic table is going to go back into the center over there, and I want to put some kind of kitchen garden and a kitchen eating place back here. So you'll walk in with the stones, and then maybe where those chairs are, maybe a little further back, we'll have a fire pit, we'll have, and Bo's going to make this all. It's all going to be made out of wood that he's lumbered and cut himself. So there's not a big expense. It's just a time thing, which is no problem. We got time, why not? Yeah, so it'll have like a seating area and some counters and hopefully an oven. I really want a bread oven back in that area. So anyway, so right now I'm trying to get rid of like that. This is just a big jumbled mess. A few things are happening here. So there's tons of brambles on the edge. I need to organize the stones. Why would anybody do that? Well, you know, I've been living in Germany for 12 years, so that's what we do. We organize stones. I'm going to take away the junky ones and kind of make the rest look a little prettier. Some areas will be completely open. Like right now, it's just kind of a big takeaway. It's all I keep saying, right? It's just a big mess. It's driving me nuts. And I look out from the kitchen window and it's like, every day I just see it. The other thing is there's glass. There's glass everywhere. Glass and tin and plastic. So this property was settled 200 years ago. And when it was, everything was a little different. The ridge in the back, there was no local dump, so you couldn't take things away. So what you would do is you would take it to the ridge and you would kind of throw it over. I mean, it's not really that much different than now. Now we take the garbage to the dump, which is a few kilometers away. And you know, technically people just throw it in the forest. That's what they do. They organize it, they sort it, they make it sound like it's gonna go to a landfill, but really it's just in the forest. And it doesn't look much different than this forest, except that there's garbage on the ground. So that bothers me so much. But here, there's a lot of glass mixed in with this muck and guck. So I've been raking it up and cleaning it up, trying to yeah, just trying to organize it and get rid of all this stuff. Also, and here's another thing, I have chickens. Now the chickens will, you know, I can put them in nice little piles like this, but the chickens will re-rake them out of the pile. So I've done this a few times. Now I think, okay, whatever, it's good exercise. And hopefully, eventually I'll get to the point where I actually pick it up and put it in the wheelbarrow and take it off to my let it rot pile. And then I'll turn it a few times there and then bring it back once it's actually turned into something after I've taken the glass out. Which is a painstakingly tedious project. I hope that this is not too windy for you guys. Now the other thing I've been doing today is, well, I've been hanging out with my chipmunks for a while. They're adorable. They come right up to me and they eat out of my hand now. is I've also been working back here. This is kind of what it looked like this spring, like after winter. This is like the winter thaw mess. This stuff took a long time to thaw. There's a few piles of wood that are still here that I want to organize. Maybe just take over to the actual wood piles. The wood piles themselves are kind of falling over, so they need a little bit of straightening up. And then we have this fire pit in the middle, which has just turned into a disaster. I had a big piece of wood on top and I was feeding the deer on that, and also on these little benches in the background. And those are for the deer. They've all been scrubbed, and now they're for the goats and the goats and the ducks and the chickens and the birds. They all come and nibble, and they have their breakfast out here, which is good because it gets the goats out of the house, which I really, really like. So I want to clean this whole area up and get it nice and child-proof, so my nieces and nephews can come over without any problems. Don't have to worry about glass, don't have to worry about tripping on anything. This whole section was completely full last year with prickly ash. Now, prickly ash is this like crazy bush going on back there. It's very brambly like. It's got huge thorns. It's nasty. And if you check out the tour of the property episode, then you can see the other side. Of course, I'll have more videos on this, and I'm sure if you guys follow along on how I convert this quite wild property into something really, really gorgeous. English meadow, English garden kind of style in and out of the gardens, and I want a real mix of everything. It'll be really interesting, so if you follow along, I'm sure you'll be thrilled to see what's up with that. Yeah, so I'm also working on that today, and I will come back and show you guys what it looks like at the end, and see if it's any better, or I'll just, put some videos on top of this so you guys can see what's going on. Thanks for watching. I'm Scarlett, and I'll see you in the next episode. Toodaloo.